Hmm? I have no idea what to say either.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, my name is Gene Xu. I am doing my first vlog for the Broadcast Yourself Day 4 Challenge. And I'm interviewing a guest and a friend that I've met at the apartments that we live in. So to give a brief introduction, my specialty is helping people develop soft skills at the intersection of doing business in cross-cultural environments. And specifically, my specialization is doing business in China. And so before I ask my signature question, I'm gonna let Sarah introduce a little bit about herself. She is not an American, so this is what makes this interview could be potentially interesting.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah. I am American, but originally from Syria.
Mm-hmm.
So I was born in here in USA, California, and I was raised in Syria.
Mm.
I lived in Syria almost my whole life, and I studied there. I started actually my medical studies.
Mm-hmm.
I finished medical school last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so basically I started my studies in Syria, and then I transferred to Europe, completed it in Serbia, and now here in USA trying to seek residency.
So, wow, that's really impressive. So you can see, I basically almost don't know Sarah at all. We've met a few times in the apartment complex, so this is also a chance for us to get to know each other. I do know that but I haven't asked my question yet, but I do know you're going to Boston.
I am.
Tomorrow.
I'm traveling to Boston tomorrow, so it's gonna be a new adventure to me because I'm moving to live in the East Coast, and I never tried that, so it's pretty exciting for me.
Yeah, so for everybody worldwide, I know Brian, you're in the UK, we're in sunny California, so SoCal as we call it. So my signature question is, because I deal with cross-cultural situations in which people experience a CLD or a China leadership dilemma. And so I'm just gonna ask Sarah, because you're so well-traveled, when you deal with people from a different culture, have you ever experienced an unexpected disappointment? Now, keep in mind that an unexpected disappointment is actually different than a disappointing outcome, because maybe you expect to be disappointed, but this is a situation where you actually tried to accomplish something and you thought you did well, and then you were surprised that you didn't achieve what you wanted to do.
Well, from my experience, actually, I did experience disappointment.
Unexpected disappointment?
No, I did, yes, it was unexpected.
Okay.
Maybe because I'm kind of like a really social person, and I like to meet people, especially from different cultures.
Okay.
For me, because I traveled, I moved to Serbia, and even here, in some situation, I did experience, an unpleasant situation where I got like, okay.
Can you give an example? And did you didn't expect somebody to treat you in a negative way, I would presume?
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
And can you just give us a quick example without naming names or naming races?
Well, I don't want to like really talking about other people, but it was, as you said, unexpected.
Right.
And for example, a lot of people, just because of the way I look, maybe because of my, if I don't like, for example, being in Serbia, I don't look like as a Serbian. So some people were like against that, like not against it, it just, they don't really appreciate foreigners, or they give kind of a look where they don't really are welcoming them. But at the same time, there were a lot of people who are really welcoming, and friendly.
So you were actually a foreigner in Serbia?
I was a foreigner in Serbia, yes.
Okay, and you received some negative reactions because you maybe dress more Western?
Maybe, yeah, or maybe because I don't speak their language.
Ah.
Yeah. So, I mean, but this is really very like few cases. It's not like every day. But where I used to live, and every day people were very nice to me and friendly. It just, situations sometimes happen.
Now, did you ever befriend any of the people who had an initial negative reaction towards you and help them overcome whatever their negative stereotypes with you might have been? Have you ever befriended anybody who started off thinking of you in a negative way and then perhaps you turned around?
Not really.
Not really?
No, not really. Like most of the people I know, I give them a picture. Good. I try to leave a good impact.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about coming back to the United States after being overseas for so long? How's your general relationship with, I guess, it's hard to stereotype, but the more stereotypical white America.
Yeah.
I'm an American, but I'm Asian. I'm also very well traveled, so I'm more sensitive to foreign cultures, but not everybody in the U.S. is like that. Have you experienced that kind of negative reaction from less cultured Americans, shall we say?
Yeah, I mean, I did also here experience that, but I mean, still not a lot. Maybe because I didn't live here for a long time, or maybe because still I didn't really interact with people on a daily basis, like in a work environment, or but I mean, in most cases, from my experience, the situation that disappoint me were very few.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I know some people, like friends, or they talk about it. They talk about it all the time, especially here in the USA. So I can understand that, but personally I didn't really experience it very much.
Okay. Now you're going to Boston to start a residency. That's a tremendous challenge. I understand residents work 16 hours, sometimes 24 hours continuous.
Yeah.
I assume you've not been a resident before. What do you think you need to actually prepare to succeed in the next 3 months of your career? What are the key success factors for you, do you think?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think first thing is that I have, it's kind of exciting, but I'm also nervous about it. And I know it's not going to be easy. It's new to me. But first thing I have to concentrate on is not to not to be afraid.
All right.
Yeah, so, and it's okay to accept that I might do mistakes and I might feel embarrassed, but it's okay. I'll be there to learn, and it's okay. You just take it as a challenge and try to grow, not just go through it and, feel bad about yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first thing, that not to fear the failure.
So I think that's really interesting. So that means on some level you're aware that maybe sometimes you're either too shy or you want to be perfect, so you're afraid to fail before you even try. Is that something that you've kind of become aware of in your own personality?
Yeah, from the experiences I've been through. I did not have that awareness, I was just living it and blaming myself or, feel bad about it. But then I learned that it's okay, it happens to everyone. We need to be aware, so we can control our actions.
Do you think any of your kind of fear of failure or the desire to be perfect before you start something, do you think any of that is cultural, based on kind of how you were raised by your parents, or is it just like, are your brothers and sisters the same way, for example?
No, actually, I don't believe it's cultural thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a personal trait more.
Okay.
I am a kind. Yeah, you guessed it. I am a very perfectionist person,
Okay.
and I think because I am very afraid to get criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't really like people to criticize me.
Mm-hmm.
I know we all have to adapt to it, but I find it very difficult to just accept it. This is why I think I tend to do things perfectly in order to avoid it. But I learned that this is going to create so much pressure on me. So I'm trying just to, do my best and just accept it. Accept, if people criticize me, just accept it. I don't have to go just very put so much pressure on myself in order to be perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's two types of criticism. One is a very negative type of criticism, and sometimes negative criticism could originate from jealousy or politics or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's another type of criticism which is constructive. And if you're able to find a mentor, somebody that you work with, somebody that you report to, somebody who's more senior level in your field, do you ever try to seek constructive criticism? Or do you ever say, can you tell me how I might improve or what I'm doing wrong?
It's very difficult, really, not just for me, I think for many people to really differentiate between negative criticism and constructive criticism.
Right.
Yeah, so this is, I think, where people have to be aware of, and and this is start first by being confident.
Yes.
You gotta be confident of yourself, and second, accept it. Accept what people are telling you. If there's something that you think, yes, he has for example, this person has a point, and I'm gonna take it to improve myself, then yeah, go for it. But if there's something you think it did not really convince you, or you don't think it's, you think it's just a judgmental opinion, then no, don't take it. Just stay confident in yourself and do what you have to do.
Yeah, you said a lot of great key words. One is judgmental. So as we're aware of how we communicate with others, we always have to adjust our attitudes and our mindsets not to be judgmental.
Exactly.
And what this demonstrates is that when people are judgmental, you can sense it.
Yeah.
Right? You can feel it.
Exactly.
Somebody might give you the same suggestion, but if they're judgmental behind the suggestion, then it's going to feel like negative criticism, and then you'll find yourself reacting accordingly.
Exactly. And one point is also, Jean, we have to know that not all people are aware of the way they talk. You know, some people are raised in a certain way, or got used to talking in a certain way, so they're not going to be aware of every word that they're telling you. So we have to know that don't take what they say to you personally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, this is we're just doing this completely unscripted. Sarah was actually nervous. What questions are you going to ask me? What we're going to talk about? I just said we're going to be unscripted, and the things that are coming out are just natural.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best way. So I'm going to ask you kind of one final question before we wrap this up. I don't know how long this is supposed to go, but since you have this awareness of things that may be limiting your opportunities for success or your personal development, maybe being too shy or being a perfectionist, are you consciously trying to do anything to overcome that need for perfection? Consciously? Or do you think it's just a natural evolution, you will get better with time?
Yeah, I think the second one, yeah. I'm still learning here, I had failures, and, I did mistakes like everybody. And for me, reaching the level of awareness, it's an achievement for me, So for me, of course, I always gonna try to learn and overcome the things, so I can, just reach the level I want.
Yeah. No, that's great. So, in my business, I coach a lot of people. I mentor a lot of students. I give a lot of advice a lot of times, and I give constructive criticism, and I also give encouragement and positive advice for people when I see really talented people. And I think this is the conversation we had the first time we met.
Yeah.
You were worried about a lot of things, and I could just tell by how hard you were working that everything will eventually come together.
Yeah, exactly. So
I always advise people just to be positive and optimistic.
especially young people.
Yeah, especially young people.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is great. Again, this is our first vlog. I just want to thank Sarah for
Thank
volunteering. She's flying to Boston tomorrow to start the next phase or the next chapter of her life, and she decided that she was going to take this time to do this video.
Yeah, I'm very glad that we did that. It was really fun.
And I think one take is all we need.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
That was great.